Hello, welcome to this tutorial. My name is Michael Uche, and in case this is your first time of coming across my channel, I want to say that you subscribe to the channel. This is where I teach everything that has to do with how you make money online via digital advertising, especially via Facebook and Instagram. And in case during the course of the video you come to like the video, I'll also say you like the video. I'll say that you like it and then you subscribe to the channel so that more people who actually need content like this will be able to see it available. And so that's that about that. So today you're going to be learning exactly how to target a rich audience using Facebook ads. So you want to actually run ads and then make sure that you get people who can afford your product to actually click on your ad. So if you want that and then you want more of people who can afford your product to click on your ads, then this video is for you. So I'll advise you don't skip through the video, watch it step by step and then you'll get the complete idea. So I'm going to be doing this for you in three major ways. Number one is that I'm going to show you how to target your audience via interest targeting, and then I'll also show you how you can verify that the interest you are targeting is the right interest using the Facebook audience insight. And lastly, I'll then show you how to target the audience based on their behavior. And so we'll use the behavioral targeting to determine who can afford to buy the product and who will not. And so like that, we take out people who are not necessarily eligible for your targeting. So number one thing that you want to have in mind is you want to be very sure of the kind of people you want to show your ads to in your mind, and then we'll use the Facebook ad audiencing to make our target referencing. So let's go right straight into it and let me show you how to get that done. So the first thing you want to do, of course, you want to hit on create, and once you hit on create, you choose any of the campaign objective that is suitable for your ad. So for the sake of this particular tutorial, I'm not going to go into explaining what the campaign objective is all about, but I'll leave a description in the video below so that you can then see a video that actually has to do with the campaign objective, and then you know the right campaign objective for yourself. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to just choose conversion and then I'll click on continue. So the next thing that I want to do is I'll go straight away to the ad set level where I'll be able to set the audience, because that is where we are getting the tutorial from. So that's where the tutorial lesson actually lies. So what we want to do is we come down here. Let me quickly point your attention to something here, something about location. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you target the right location. This is Nigeria, but there are different options for locations targeting. You want to make sure you choose people living in this location that is based on the product you're selling. So for this example tutorial, I'll assume that we actually want to sell shoes and bags to want to sell them to ladies. So let me assume we want to sell shoes and bags to ladies, and then we want to make sure when these people are in Nigeria, so you want to make sure that you choose people whose home is within the selected area. Let me zoom this for you. People whose home is within the selected area is different from people whose home or most recent location is within the selected area. So for instance, if you choose this first option, that means even people who have moved out of Nigeria will be shown your art, because it is said that within the selected area whose home or most recent location. But the second option is specific, people whose home is within the selected area, so they are still currently living there. So you want to make sure that you always choose this option. Don't forget, Facebook will always give you the first option as the pseudo option, so you want to come in and then change it to people living in this location. So like this, your ad will be shown to people living in Nigeria if Nigeria is the location you chose, like that. So having said that, let's go straight down, and then for the gender, of course, we said we are selling to women, so we want to just choose women. And here is now where we are going to do the first assignment, where we do detailed targeting expansion. So you click on edit and then you want to add the interest. So we want to advertise to people who actually show interest in who are going to we want to sell shoes and bags. So I'm just going to target by interest, and then let me type in fashion and see the suggestion that it brings. So you can see fashion accessory, fashion theme. Okay, or let me type in clothing here. Let me type in clothing. Okay, so we have clothing designer. So I'm going to choose clothing as an interest. So I choose this, and the next thing you do is you now click on suggestions. So we also have other suggestions that are related to clothing. So now we have online shopping, fashion accessory, dresses, engage shopper, luxury goods. No, we are not going to choose all of. We have skirts, shirts, jeans. So these are people who have expressed interest in all of these things. So don't forget that the first thing we want to do is that we want to actually target people based on interest, so that we can have a large number of people that we can now narrow down to those that will be able to buy and those that will not be able to buy. So the next thing that you want to do is we want to pick all of these suggested interests, the ones that are relevant, and then we want to put them inside the Facebook audience insight, so that we'll be able to use the data we generate from Facebook to now set the age range, and then maybe we can also use it to set the location, the exact location where most of these people will be found. So we want to use the audience insight to get more insight about the audience, and then now set all of these other demographics right. So I hope you get that. So now what you want to do is you just come over here, and then we click on the three dot here, and we come down, we look for I'm going to do this via audience insight. So can I actually see that here? So we'll scroll audience report. Okay, I'm going to click on insight here, so you can see it here. I click on insight, and I'll open it in a new tab so that I can actually be able to copy and then paste on this other tab. So okay, it's loading. So now we are on the audience insight. So okay, for me to actually access this, I have to put my own two-factor authenticator. Let me get that, and then put it in 240386. Okay, let me confirm this. Yes, okay, I think that's correct. So I have access to the audience insight, and then I can now make my verification. Overview audience, we click on audience here, and then we come down to exactly where we have the audience. So you click on potential audience. We have two options here, where we have current audience and then we have potential audience. So click on potential audience, and this is it. So potentially, estimatedly, we have about 30 million to 35 million people on Facebook. So but we want to understand the interest we are targeting. We want to use the Facebook audience insight to understand the behavior of these particular audiences that are in our suggestion box here, and then we'll now use the behavior, including the one we selected, including this particular one we selected, that is this clothing interest we selected. So we'll carry this, and then we'll put it inside the audience inside filter here, and then we will know their behavior and their demographics, and then we use the demographics we generate from here to now set the right demographic here. So that's the first step. So let's go along. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to come here, then we click on filter, and we click on location. I think we chose Nigeria. We choose Nigeria as a country, and we leave the age range blank like that, because we are going to actually have the age range generated for us here. And so then we now put the interest here. The first interest I have is clothing, so we have it here. So I click on clothing, and when we click on clothing, you'll discover that we have about 15 million to 18 million people who have expressed interest on clothing, and you can see that 12% of them are the people between the ages of 18 to 24, and you'll discover that the ones people from the ages of 45 to 54, those guys are 2%, men, and then 4%, 2% women, and 4% men. So like this, people expressing interest in clothing, we discovered that most of them, I think, are women, of course. So, and we actually targeted women because we are selling women clothing, but all of these insight will actually help. And then we'll discover their location. We discover that most of them reside in Lagos, Abuja, then Ibadan, Port Harcourt, followed by Port Harcourt and Kano. Okay, and then we can see other pages they follow, and the rest of them like that. So we come up here, we got this data here. So what I'm going to do here is I'll cancel this, and then we'll come back here, and then we pick the other interest that was suggested here. So we'll click on suggestion again, and then we click on dresses. So let's search for dresses, and we have dresses as part of the audience insight here. So I'm going to search for dresses, and then let's see the kind of data we are going to have here. So we have about 7 million to 8 million people here, and we discover that most of them are women. And we can also see the location, and we discovered that their age range is between the ages of 18 to 44. So if we are targeting between the ages of 18 to 44, I think that will be very fine. So I can actually use this particular one to determine the age range of the audience when I'm actually doing the age setting in the actual ad. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to search for, I think there's something like women clothing. Okay, so women clothing, and we discover that these are okay. This demographic data isn't available, so there's not enough data to actually show us here. So I'll cancel this, come back again, and then I look for skirt, shirt, jewelry, beauty, party dress. So let me search party dress here, and then let's see kind of data we're gonna have. So party dress, do we have that here? Okay, we have party dress here, 2 million to 2.4 million people. Then you discover that most of these people are also women, and they are between the ages of 18 to 35. So now I think like this we've been able to determine our age range. So all I'll just do is we'll select all of these other additional interests, since we are selling to people who actually are going to be able to buy our clothing. So I'll put in fashion accessories, and then I'll also click on dresses, then I'll click on jewelries. We are selling shoes. I'll click on shoes. I'll click on bracelet, necklace. Yeah, these are also people who are going to wear clothes. So I click on footwear, and I think like that. So I'll just choose all of these other interests, and I think we've got enough people here, about 12 million to 14 million people. I think that is good for us. And we can also set the location here, since we have most of these people in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. So we can just set the location here. And don't forget, we got that insight from the audience insight here. Discover our top places, our top towns and cities. These are top locations. So come down here, then I put in Abuja. All right, Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. I put that in, and we scroll up. Okay, so I write Lagos, Nigeria. Let me target people in Lagos. So Lagos, Nigeria as a country, Lagos State, Nigeria as a city. So I prefer to choose Lagos State, Nigeria city. So I choose it so that I actually target more of people in the city. And don't forget that we can actually reduce our reach here by reducing the kilometer, like people in Abuja and then who are 40 kilometers away from Abuja are going to be able to see this ad. We can decide to cut that down. Don't forget, we can decide to cut that down. Now we can also decide to increase the radius so that we reach more people, but I'm just going to leave this at 35 kilometer, and people, and then you can also do that for every of the city or for every of the location you chose. So I'll leave this at 3540, and then I'll type in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, can you come up? Okay, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria, city. And like this, we have a 5 million to 5.9 million people, which is actually a very broad audience. Okay, let me go to Ibadan. Let me type in Ibadan as a city, or your state, Nigeria, city. Let me also target people in Benin. Let me target people in Benin city, Benin, Edo State, Nigeria. Okay, let me come down to the north, and then let's target people in Kano. We have people Kano State, Nigeria. So like this, our audience is about 6 million. We have about 6 million audience. You can see that here. We have about 6 million to 7 million audience. And so I'll leave that at that. So we have done the first part of our targeting. Don't forget, what we are looking for actually is that we are looking for people who have the money to buy. So now we set this age according to the age that is most likely to respond there. So I'll use an average. I will not go for 18. I also need people who have earning power, who can actually afford to buy something. So I'll go from 21, and then I'll go to from 21 to 35. So I'll stop at 35. So between the age of 21 and 35, and then you can see this has come down to 4 million to 4.8 million. So like that. So the other thing we are going to now do is, I think we have done the first level setting. We have set the location, we have set the age range, and then we have set the interest according to what we got in the audience inside. Don't forget that you can choose all of the suggestions, and then as long as they are applicable. So let me choose people who express interest in boutiques again, and then let me use the suggestion, and then people who have expressed interest in handbags, people who express interest in shirt, skirt, bags, party dress, and the likes of them like that. So the more we put in, the more we actually have more audience there. And don't forget, we have set the gender to just women, so we are going to be targeting women. So now, out of this particular audience that we have chosen, the second step is, now we want to choose the people who have the money, so basically we can use different method. We can target engaged shoppers, which is what most people do. So all we just need to do is, you come here where we have exclude, and then we have narrow. When you exclude, actually that means you are taking away some categories of people out of the audience, meaning that those people will not be targeted. That means the people you take away, the people, when we click on exclude and then we choose any audience, those people will be taken out of the audience, and then the rest will be targeted. So that is not what we want to do. We want to actually use narrow down. Narrow down simply means we go deeper and then select some audience inside the whole of this audience that we have targeted, and those are the people that Facebook will now finally show the ad to. So number one is that we have established people who have connection with what we want to sell. So then we want, out of those people, we want to pick the ones who have the money to buy. Don't forget, this is about targeting rich audience. So we go to narrow audience, and then we can choose engaged shopper. We can use engaged shopper to actually get this done. When you use engaged shopper, then this means it's actually a behavior. Don't forget, it's a behavior. We have targeted people based on interest. Now we want to go based on behavior. Now behavior simply means Facebook have studied this set of people over time, and then they discovered that they have concluded that the way they behave, this is actually what their behavior means. So for engaged shopper, what this means is that people who have, let me hover on that again. Sorry about that. Let me hover on that again. Engaged shoppers. Okay, so Now, this means that Facebook will actually be doing what? People who have checked on the call to action button shop now in the past week. So this means that if we target these people, these are people who have actually clicked on the shop now button on Facebook. That means in one way or the other, maybe an ad was shown to them and then they clicked on it in the past few weeks. So Facebook assumes that these are people who also are willing to buy something. So we can use that, and then we can also target people based on luxury. We can use interest, that is people who have expressed interest in luxury goods. So we can actually be like, okay, these are people who might probably have the money to buy something, and so probably that's why they have these are people who are looking for something expensive. So it assumes that these people also have money. So you can see we have luxury vehicle, luxury goods, luxury resort, lifestyle, travel. And for every time we click on this, one thing happens to our audience size. We discover that the audience size will actually come down. So from 4 million, we have about 1.8 million to 2 million people here. So that is one thing you want to notice. And then when you are coming to narrow down, you just use one target interest. You don't use multiple ones, you don't use suggestions, you just use one to narrow the audience down, and that's it. So we can use luxury goods to target them, and then we can use frequent international travelers. Okay, so you can see that this is actually a behavior. So let me zoom this means, what is frequent international travelers? Where are you? Okay, so what this actually means is that people who have traveled abroad more than once in the past 6 months. So that is what it means. So if we choose this interest, for instance, of 4 million, discover that this interest goes down to 410,400. So you can see these are fewer people, but these are actually more targeted audience. But it might also mean that you'll be spending more money to on Facebook, because the lesser the audience you're targeting, the more money you are going to actually spend to reach those audience. So this is also another way how you can actually fish out people who have the money to buy your product. So the other thing that we can also do is that we can target people based on okay, probably people who are looking to buy real estate. You can see real estate manager job title. We can streamline this to real estate manager, then real estate investing. You see, these are people who have expressed interest in real estate investing, and then real estate is actually a business for people who have money. So you don't want to actually choose real estate manager employee. You don't want to choose that. These are people who are working for people. And international real estate interest, so you can narrow it down to this interest. These are also people who will be able to afford your product. So basically, this is the targeting option you use in trying to streamline people to people who can buy your product. So the first thing you want to do is you want to target people based on a broad interest that is related to the product you are selling. And the second thing you want to do is you want to pick those interests, and then you want to go into the Facebook audience insight. You type in some of those interests there, look at the data it is generating, use that data to determine the gender. For most cases, you might want to just, if your product is not specifically pertaining to a particular gender, I'll always advise that you do not differentiate in gender. Just use all gender, both men and women. And but one of the most important thing you want to discover when you are using the audience insight, you want to discover the age of people, the age range of those people who might likely be ready to respond to your advert or buy your product. And then you also want to determine the location. For in fact, my number one recommendation is that anytime you are trying to discover the location where you are going to advertise, I suggest you come to the audience inside here. And of course, basically at every time, the top locations will always have people in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. These are where we have more people who actually go online, Benin, and the rest of them like that. And of course, you can also come down here to then go down and then put in other targeting. use the top pages they are actually following to, you can use the top pages they are following to make other discoveries and do other related targeting as you put in the targeting details and then put in the audience insight. So basically, you want to use the audience insight to determine the age, and then you want to use it to determine the location and the gender. In some cases, the gender of your audience that you are going to be targeting. And so that is that about that. So use this particular strategy to target people who have the money to buy your product, especially if you are selling luxury based product or expensive products. You want to use this and target them. You target based on interest, then you come down and then you narrow the audience down to the people who might likely have the money to buy by using either people behavior as travelers, or use them as engaged shoppers, or use on interest, maybe people that have expressed interest on very expensive goods that people might likely be ready to buy. So I want to assume that I know that you have actually got value out of this particular video. So in case you actually did, I want to say that you liked the video, and if this is your first time, subscribe to this channel. If you need more content like this, anytime we post a content like this that is going to help you to be able to make money out of your online advertising, you'll be one of the first persons to get notified. And so don't forget to also click on the notification icon so that you get notified anytime I post a new video like this that shows you how to make money via digital advertising online. So that's that about this video. Until next time when I come your way, bye bye for now.